Amy, greetings from Toronto, where this wonderful film actually had its debut at.
I know.
Great reception. What was it like for you to bring it here?
I loved being there so much. I did a play at Kent Stage many, many years ago, and
Yes.
I enjoyed the audiences. I enjoyed the city. I just thought, when I was there this time, I was like, will they take me back? Can I stay here forever? And the festival is such a cultural mainstay. It's just incredible.
I understand. Didn't Cameron beg you to bring your film? Come on. Will
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have
I
you
know.
back?
Yes, he had to get on his knees and beg me. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm so excited.
I'm curious because I always wonder when a film is called one thing and then you change the name. It came here
Yes.
with the title Roost. Well, I get the what comes around, and I do think that works. But why did you feel the need to have to change it?
Well, when a company buys your film, you do whatever they say you should do. And the nice thing about the company that bought my film is that they keep the artist so at the epicenter of everything they do. And so the title that they came up with was actually, I think, more accessible, more representational of the genre and sort of what we were trying to access.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was great. I thought Roost was clever, but probably not quite as accessible.
Yeah, no, this completely works. And I was watching it again, and I thought, yeah, I like this title, and it totally brings it together. It's based on a play. What was it about the play that you thought this is something that I need to tell on a screen?
There are some very complex ideas that are Trojan horse in through genre. So
Yeah.
it's not a beat you in the face with the messaging kind of play, and it wasn't meant to be as a film. These are issues that I think I'm ruminating over in my own life as a parent, as a once young person, and as somebody who is a citizen of our digital world.
Yeah.
Um, and I felt like it was just a really great way to get in and have these characters catalyze what it is to look at the genesis of behavior. And
Mm.
we might demonize somebody, but really, why? Why do they act like that? In what way, perhaps where they failed early in their lives? What's the downstream of not telling the truth?
Right.
And all of those things are fascinating to me from a human condition perspective.
Yeah, but I also a parent, and I just, I'm glad that my boys didn't really grow up with this, when they were
Yeah.
teenagers, because it is so frightening to how many stories we hear about young girls, young boys, whoever, that are so duped by people on the internet, on the phone. And here you have this young girl, not even given the backstory of the mom, just in context of this young girl who falls for this guy, knowing that he's a little older. It really makes you think about how do we control this kind of stuff, or can we?
Well, we don't. I don't think we do. I mean, I think to think that we can control it is probably an exercise in futility. We gave them this technology, with my own kids, because I'm so sort of a Luddite myself. I sort of feel like I threw a loaded gun on the living room table and it's like, I hope you don't shoot yourself in the face, And part of that was that I was digitally illiterate. And I realized that it's really more about conversation. What is it that they're seeking? What is this satisfying? Although there's a lot of crap that's out there and there's a lot of time suck that happens, there's also some interesting conceptual things. And there is a sort of direct to consumer, content that I think isn't going away anytime
Yeah.
soon. So, to understand it as much as possible, I think is probably a better path than to just dismiss it or, say, well, it's just, something that should go away, because it's just not going to.
Yeah, your casting is so amazing. I mean, everybody is so good in this film. Grace Van Dien, I mean, she's just going to be a huge star. There's no question about it. Her innocence, though, it just struck me so hard. Was that something that you saw when you cast her?
Yeah, it was especially something that I saw when I met her. She is such a solid human being. She's so smart. She's so crafted. she's so determined to represent young women in a way that has dignity. And I knew that that's what this character needed more than anything.
Yeah.
Um, and she really understands that so much of the content that is made for young actresses and young women does not take into into account all of the things that they're navigating. So I felt really excited that I was able to use her lived experience, which she very much brought to the table. She's so beautiful and she's so incredibly captivating on screen. She's also a little bit of a nerd, and she's also a little bit of this, and
Yeah.
she holds all of these multiple truths at once, which I thought, well, this makes for wonderful storytelling.
Yeah, absolutely. You, of course, have done, some acting yourself, and then have now turned to directing. How does that help you, Amy, as a director? Because you're coming from somewhere that, you can kind of understand what the actor is going through.
I love actors, and they get kind of a bad rap at times, but there is a cost. They are the shaman of our culture. They're the ones who catalyze ideas. And what it is to do that has great benefit, but it also has a price. And so I try to create a condition in which people can bring their best, so that there's a kind of safety, so that the creative juices can really flow without feeling like you have to be in a defensive stance.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to be given really crap direction, and it's not that much fun. So usually it's around economy of words and inviting their sensibilities. If an actor stumbles off on a line 1,000 times, it's probably not a very good line. So, I know what that's like for me. So I like to bring all of those things to the table, and really catalyze the best.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, right. And everybody, like I said, Kyle, everybody, Summer, everyone's so good in this movie, and obviously giving them your best. Just to wrap it up, obviously, I have to say, I've had the great privilege of interviewing your father many times over the years. Like I pinch myself; he's one of my top faves. Did he ever set you aside, Amy, and go, "Do you really want to go in this business?" Or was he very encouraging?
I think he's encouraging for about anything that you really are willing to work hard at, and develop your craft and spend the time. My first job in film was as a grip, and part of that was so that I could understand the process. Being able to do something that you love makes you a really rare creature on earth. And I think understanding how privileged you are to be able to do it, and understanding what a team sport it is, you do not create in a vacuum.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a lot of, very scary things about doing it, especially doing it when you have somebody like him that, stands in front. But, he knew I was my own person and had my own stuff to say and talk about. And I feel very lucky that I had that and the Sundance Institute as a creative birthplace.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time today. Like I said, this is such a good film, and boy, does it ever make you think. There's no question. So I'm just looking forward to what you're going to bring us to TIFF next year. Okay, so remember.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'll make sure to do that.
All right, Amy, thank you so much for
Okay,
your time, and have a great
thank
day.
you.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Sweet.